Good afternoon. Welcome to Lake Highlands Park for the final game in the Dallas Rugby Football Club, the Reds pre-season, up against the Grand Prairie Mavericks. Mavericks looking resplendent in their blue and green Islander-style kits. The Reds, they're in red. You can guess which team that is. Quick run down the team list. We've got Musawura at prop with Ross and Tatibue starting on the front row. Slater and Tonga in the second row. Heron, Murray and Imonugo rounding out the pack in the back row. TJ Quiggle making his return to 9 with Reese leading the line at 10. A couple of debuts in the backs with Monetus making his D1 debut on the right wing wearing 11. Tino AJ and Harrison Miller and the new centres pairing out there with Chester Hale making his second appearance for this D1 side after a great showing last week, including a try in the dying moments. And finally, Bryson Roberts back there at fullback. I'm joined today, I've got some new colour commentators joining me here in the booth. If you'd like to say hello.
Oh, hey, hi. We're just here for fun. Please listen to whatever Alex says about the strategy.
And we are underway with Reese getting the kick away. A fantastic take by the fullback, Javen, there, as the Reds set their defensive line strongly. Looking at the Grand Prairie pack, it's a very large group of men looking to play some good rugby. 12 is wearing pink boots. Says to me there's going to be some trouble there. As the Reds turn it over, AJ, with the first chance of attacking, turns his opposite man inside out there with Bobo finding out that Tino's a shifty little customer. Heron offloading to Tonga, and the pass is forward, says our referee, Sean. A breathless start here.
Was it forward, though?
When you speak, you got to really like...
Was it forward, though?
The ref is always right in the commentary world.
That was strong. They was running into him.
Absolutely. A scrum coming down. No, I've never been in a scrum. What's happening?
Whoa. Lots of fun.
What's happening in the scrum? You're like a
Girl,
scrum
you're in one,
queen.
too. You got it.
The Reds
Either.
setting up for their first scrum of the day. The scrum half.
Oh,
Hero standing over. Big shove coming in for the Reds.
big.
Foliaki gets turned inside out, but the ball eventually squirts out. And the clearance kick makes no distance. Pressure very much in favour of the Reds.
That was a really big push in the scrum.
Thanks, Jeff. Back to you in the studio. Shout out to those watching at home. Thank you for joining us for this final game of the Reds pre-season. The games come thick and fast after the new year. I know this streaming is fantastic, but hey, you got to get down there and enjoy some delicious 8 Elite Lager. Heron ably brings it down for the 3,000th time in his career, and the rolling maul starts, eventually being dragged down by Grand Prairie, with the referee Sean Bean Martin giving the advantage to the Reds. Slater, the late inclusion. Thank you. Slater, the late inclusion, making his way. Imonugo, the ball bounces, and eventually we come back for the penalty. The backs haven't heard the whistle. They've left their ears at home.
Been there.
I've scored 80-meter tries and be like, no!
That sucked.
It looks like they're finally starting to get into it. They're starting to play. The aggression is starting to pick up.
Absolutely. Not sure if you guys have ever played Grand Prairie. Do they have a women's team?
I don't think they do.
No. Grand Prairie, by virtue of being Islanders, etc., they love the physicality. There's going to be some... This is a great game for a preseason game because we're going to find out who wants to be here because there's going to be some big shots coming in.
Even from this angle, like I can see
Joe,
the other team is
you're not
much
very good
higher
window,
than the
mate.
Reds are
Thank
in the
you.
scrum.
You're good. Referee Martin, not happy with what's going on in that scrum. I can offer no information.
It did look weird. It did look weird.
It looked weird. There
Yeah.
you go.
Well, even when you're in a scrum, sometimes you hear the whistle and I'm just like, I don't know what was wrong, but I guess let's reset.
Grand Prairie lined up with intent on the try line in the backs, looking for the ball. Imonugo gets the ball to his feet, keeps it in. The Grand Prairie front row starting to splinter. Foliaki pops.
There we
It's
go.
a penalty advantage. Imonugo loses the ball forwards, and we come back for the penalty. Pressure coming here against Grand Prairie early in this match. Reds choosing to continue to rub home this advantage they clearly have in the scrum. If you're an opposing prop and they've taken their third scrum in a row and you're clearly getting absolutely bummed, how are you dealing with this?
I actually have never experienced that. No shade.
Shout out to the Dallas Reds women's side. You're like, I don't know. I've never lost a scrum.
Let's see if the backs are ready.
What'd you say?
Say it. Get the mic in and say it. It's good.
Let's see if the backs are ready for this.
Yeah, come on. let's do
Scrum
something
wheels,
next and not
referee-
something else.
Says, let's reset. That's more of a safety thing. No one really getting any advantage out of that scrum wheeling. I agree. Backs looking to line up here to run a strike move. Looks like the left winger wearing 14, a man after my own heart. Chester Hale is inserting himself with the very dangerous Milleren running there at 13 with the world's fastest haircut. Joined here by Club VP Joe Wood. Joe, how you feeling about this season?
Pretty good. We've got a lot of new faces, a lot of old faces as well, though. So we're excited to see how the new guys work together and all the chemistry.
Were the backs
Ball comes
ready?
squirting out. Reese feeds Milleren, who's
Love it.
chopped really, really well.
Turnover. Amazing. They were
And
not
Grand
doing
Prairie
this.
have managed to wrestle the ball free in the collision area. A bit of an inglorious start there for the Reds back line. Quiggle effecting a tackle against his opposite man, Hero. And penalties for the Reds. Gonna guess not releasing. Not releasing is the call.
There's so many of them.
Like players on the field?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like it's less obvious which ones are backs versus forwards than it is when you watch a women's game.
I don't know
Touch
about
very
that, though.
ably found by Reese. Reese in the week feeling like his kick had been off a little bit. He was releasing the ball a little bit sideways on the more technical side of things. He's worked it out in the warm-up. And a really nice kick to touch there, which sends Quiggle with the lazy Chris Ross refusing to go and get the ball.
Okay, the backs are about to redeem themselves. I can feel it.
A couple of forwards inserting. I think we're going to probably be seeing a nice forward punch here off 10, supported by the backs looking for that second phase ball. I don't fancy tackling Open Imonugo, do you?
Us also have never done that, but it doesn't look enjoyable.
Imonugo feeds AJ. Milleren finds
Come on,
Roberts.
backs.
Oh,
Turns his feet,
Nice
turns on the
run.
Jets.
Imagine if you
Smashed
passed
in the backfield by the flanker
That
covering
was a
across.
nice run.
Reese feeds Slater. Heron to Murray. Murray out the back. Murray with the show and go. And the Reds are on the board.
I felt it. I told you guys. I felt it.
It only took like several phases, but we got there.
It only took several phases.
We're just getting warmed up. They're just now warm. I don't know what that means.
If anyone just heard the
Not
bulldog that talked to us, some of those passes. Batman just had something to say. Some of those passes are like paper bags in a hurricane, says Bryce. What he's meaning there is I don't know. No, he's meaning that the pass is a little bit loose as Reese adds the extras to make it
Yes,
7
that.
points, 2-0. Good start from the Reds, working it out after a little bit of sustained scrum pressure. The referee choosing to keep the cards in his pocket. Bit of a theme in World Rugby recently, especially after the Ireland game, with front rows just getting absolutely dominated and getting skinned of players with yellows. But Martin, seeing that it's a pre-season game and also it's not South Africa versus Ireland, choosing to keep the players on the field.
You know, I was thinking we could do a drinking game of like get some 8 beer and then have a sip whenever there's a scrum, but that would be crazy and we would get alcohol poisoning probably. Probably shouldn't do that.
It's a good game. Remember, of course, 8 elite lager, 80 calories, none of the additives and all of the taste.
Exactly.
Lovely restart. Kicked there
Nice catch.
That was in the
by
air.
the fly half Pumba. In the air is the call for Slater. A man of that size getting off the ground is like the Apollo 11 satellite rocket taking off. But he did. Didn't have the jet boosters. As Reese lines it up. Takes a big chunk of territory there. Excellent kick by
I
Alex
don't know
Reese.
how they aim those.
13 is so fast for Grand Prairie that his hair is actually vacated to the back of his head, which is pretty magical. Balding fears him.
So we can talk crap. Okay.
Reese feeds Tonga out the back to Imonugo. AJ line. Milleran on the outside. The pass is flaky. Hale takes it.
No,
He's
he
in
got
trouble
it.
now. Pops it out the back. Milleran scrambles. 13 is getting chopped inside and out by Milleran. Great work on the breakdown by Grand Prairie, slowing it down, but eventually they turn it over. That's fantastic scrambling, but the penalty for off feet given. Exciting play. God, that was good, wasn't it?
I couldn't see past Joe.
I like when the ball moves.
Joe, stand here.
Me too, and when they score.
No, I understand. You're fine. Just stand here.
The plays always look much better when the ball is moving instead of them just running with the ball and trying to carry it all.
Got to say, the scrum half of Grand Prairie has the bluest boots I've ever seen. I'm really impressed. They must be different on like the spectrum wave. Like I has transcended normal colour spectrums. Murray, very nicely taken. No one engaging. Imonugo says, all right, let's have a go. Pops out to Ross on the wide. Ross says, thank you so much for that. The scrum half sealing off a little bit. The Reds continue. And the turnover affected by the Grand Prairie Mavericks. Hero number 9. I've said his name a lot. He's my hero for that turnover.
It was like their shared brain cell glitched for a second.
Yeah, there was a pause.
A very effective exit, not taking a huge amount of distance there. A really good kicker, actually, back there, Pumba, who plays all across the back line. Playing fly half today, number 23. Keep an eye out for him. I remember playing him in a D1 game a couple of years ago when the Mavericks were a D1 side. A really, really good player. Makes good decisions, runs hard. Good stuff. As Mavericks secure their line out, the ball comes out fast. Hero feeding a very dangerous runner. First time we've seen Lofa get his hands on the ball. Ball goes out. Pumba, hassle by his opposite man, throws Reese away. Imonugo and Tabue drag him down. Mavericks playing a lot of rugby in their own 22 here. The ball eventually dragged down by Murray, and offside is the call.
They got a good defensive line there. It was nice and flat. Unlike their backs, because they got big old butts out there.
Crazy work. Crazy work.
Fantastic kick by Pumba. The ball kept in. Unbelievable work from the newbie Hale and Roberts. Moving the ball. AJ, positive rugby for Imonugo, linking with AJ. AJ smashed in the midfield. Sure he regrets that decision. Grand Prairie hassling. Milleran dragged down really strongly in the midfield. As the Reds try and keep this up. Grand Prairie really compressed. Tabue making the carry in the midfield, his first carry of the game. Quiggle goes fast, feeds Reese to Tonga. Tonga the hands to Slater. Slater gang tackled. Hale runs into pressure and is smashed into touch. Really good rugby
nice.
from both sides there.
This is my first time looking at the other team up close, so we can see now what they look like.
Large.
Formidable.
Yeah. The various bars and establishments across this great city, hoping none of these guys get hurt because then all their door staff will be injured for the evening. Line out is missed. Ross chases. Lofa with another really strong carry, eventually wrestled down by Tonga. Hero feeding Foliaki, the ex-Red.
It's supposed to be an accent.
The ex-Texas A&M
That was a really
linebacker
good, you saw it,
rumbling
that was a really good
forward.
run.
Murray is absolutely whacked.
Ooh.
Trying to get the cat tackle in then. The ball rumbles out. Continuing. Grand Prairie looking dangerous here. Reds scrambling. Heron coming from great height to effect a turnover and puts in the kick. Murray's chasing. How's it going to bounce? Perfectly. Eventually handled by Javon, who's tackled down inside the 10, and the call is for 8. It's going to be hard to tackle him low.
Was it the first time Grand Prairie was on this side? There you go.
Grand Prairie making their way into the Reds half for the first time.
It was your
That the sound of a delicious 8 Elite lager being opened here. Only 80 calories, none of the additives, and all of the taste. Cheers to all of you over there at 8 Elite Lager. Thank you for sponsoring the club.
Cheers.
That is delicious. A moment on the lips, no time on the hips, because it's only 80 calories.
I'm going to have to soundbite these.
He just smacked it down. That was cute. He was like a cat. Like a,
Tonga
Garfield.
feeds Imonugo, jinking, turning, sees opportunity, eventually dragged down by the very dangerous Lofa, who's doing work on both sides of the ball. Quiggle, and straight over the ruck, I'm guessing. That's Monetus with his first inclusion of the game.
Good thing they called it, because that pass was not beautiful.
Bit of a let-off there, perhaps, for Grand Prairie, with the Reds starting to build. I think he's sealed off. I think it is hard to say. I'm normally mic'd up for the refs, but it's really hard today. Pumba. Reese making a decision. What's he done there?
That's so
Alex
awkward.
Reese has had a shocker. Score 7-5 with the kick to come. Reese won that back 1,000 times over. What a boneheaded play. He looked as he did it and realized, oh no, there's nobody here.
Somebody check on him. I know that hurt emotionally.
That's why you chase the ball. For those kids at home watching, that is why you chase the ball on every single kick. Grand Prairie living on their luck. They haven't been in the Reds half at all, apart from one inclusion. And here they are, 2 points down with the kick to come, and the very accurate goal kicker, Pumba, stepping up to have a shot at goal.
I wonder what's being said in that huddle right now.
Boys, what are you doing? That's what I'll be saying. Big shout out to Grand Prairie as well for hosting the Mary Graham All-Stars last week. I had the privilege of commentating a couple of the women's games. Really high quality rugby, real positivity. I commentated on the same team on Saturday and Sunday. They got absolutely pumped on Saturday. Played the whole game with a smile on their face, a bit of a comeback coming on at the end, and on a Sunday they got to put a team to the sword. So it's really exciting to see. A big shout out, of course, to the Dallas Reds ladies who are included in that tournament. And the conversion is added, 7-7. 17 minutes in, 3 minutes to go until the first water break of this final preseason game.
Men get water breaks in cold weather?
It's just 'cause it's preseason.
Oh, okay.
Levi, what's your last name? C-H-E-S-T-R.
That's not at all what I thought.
he said yes, sir, like asking a question or something. Yes, sir.
Tino AJ at 12 making way for the debutante Levi Desser coming up from Baylor as Quiggle has to deal with Lofa, and Tonga has to come and help out the little man.
Are you staying for both games? I don't know who they're playing, but
Grand Prairie building. Pumba sees space. Reese
I think
making
so,
up
yes,
for his
but-
error earlier. Moves the ball to Roberts. Moves the ball to Imonugo. Red shifting the point of attack really ably as they burn outside. Imonugo with a shoeing Gu. And we are rumbling into the Grand Prairie Mavericks half of the field. The ball comes squirting out and it bounces in to touch. Bit of inaccuracy there. Positivity for the Reds, followed by inaccuracy.
No, I'm just saying.
I hope Garfield smacks it down again.
I wonder who's gonna jump. I thought Johnny would jump since he's 8 feet tall.
Yeah, that's the tall redhead. He smacked it down like a cat last time. Okay, they're gonna set up for a scrum.
Scrum very much a place that the Reds have had ascendancy, although all the scrums we've seen have been on the Mavericks goal line, so they've been a little bit cautious perhaps. It'll be really interesting to see what happens now the Mavericks aren't completely under the cosh in this scrum.
Maybe they'll be more confident now that they've scored.
Ball comes
Uh-oh.
firing out. Quiggle deals with it. Feeds Dessa, who loops Reese.
Amazing.
Monetus with his first carry. He's stepping. Nice tackle effected there by Tupe, the centre, or the winger actually. Hands on the floor. It's a
That was
penalty against the hardest
Quick
name to pronounce here,
reset.
Dante. As Murray popped. Reese, opportunity. Dessa knocks it on. And another penalty coming back for the Reds, living on their luck again.
Well, he's frustrated. Did you see him yell, F word? The one with the blue scrum cap, he said, F word. He's disappointed in himself, but he's been playing well.
Feed is frozen for now. Apologies for you at home. You're not missing anything. We come into our first water break.